Welcome to The Midpoint, conversations with the extraordinary people building the American innovation economy from the inside out. I'm Patrick McKenna, founder of One America Works. The first time I came to Pittsburgh, it was in 1998, and I was part of a deal team when I worked at JP Morgan, and it was working on integrated steel financing, of course. And I came through downtown Pittsburgh, and I'm like, this looks like the 1950s, 1960s, right? It's fine. But I had already lived in Silicon Valley in New York. But the second time I came was in 2018. And like everything had changed. Everything had changed. Vibrancy, energy. And I was now investing, had been in tech for 8 years at that point. And I started asking around, where are some hot companies? What's going on? I had a friend, Rob Meyer, who was associated with CMU. And he said, there's a company and founder, they're just a couple PhDs that are coming out of CMU. They've got, computer vision is kind of the core of their technology. We met in 2018. I invested basically just off the talent, the idea, which I didn't quite understand at the time. And so it's great to see you.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thanks for giving us the platform and also just to see you back.
It's fun to be back. So the company's called Gather.ai. It wasn't the original name.
There's no dot. We are Gather AI.
Oh, okay.
But originally we were so relatable, right? Nabla Ascent. Just a bunch of nerds spinning out of CMU. Nabla Ascent is essentially the name of the algorithm that drives all of machine learning. So it's like, oh, that's a cool name.
I like the Nabla Ascent. That's really pretty cool. It would be great to just you're kicking us off. You were in the PhD program at CMU. You had an idea. You saw the commercialization of it. Can you just start from there? Because I know when we first met, you were trying to figure out how to get your IP out of CMU. Uh-huh. You hadn't even really got the business fully going, but you had a vision of what it was. Can you start there and kind of take us to what the company's doing now?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll try and keep it short because I can keep going, get very excited about it. So this was back in 2014. I'm standing in FBI training grounds in Quantico, 5-star Army generals behind me. And there is this full-scale autonomous helicopter coming in, avoids a bunch of trees, avoids a wire, avoids a hay bale, and lands itself. And for me, a kid growing up in Delhi, always dreaming of making robots, making a world's first, it was just amazing. Like I can still remember that as a video in my head. But at the same time, that helicopter had covered 10 kilometers and built a beautiful 3D map of the environment. And it stayed with me how aerial vehicles are amazing data gatherers because they can reach vantage points which no other vehicles can. Dedicated my PhD and my co-founders, Daniel Maturana and Gitesh Dubey, worked together on making drones curious, making them effective data gatherers. And that's
making drones curious?
Yes.
Making drones curious. I like that insight.
And that is where sort of the name, which is more relatable, is the Gather AI came from, which is gathering data using AI. So you know how all of us are now reliant on Google and now maybe ChatGPT to just see what's out there in the digital world and search it. But what's in the physical world is not easily searchable. So I think that's what we are bringing. We are bringing this ability to gather data in the physical world at a press of a button.
Can you talk about the application? Warehousing is the market you're focused on now and how it works.
So yes, we have fully autonomous drones, which are commercial off-the-shelf drones, going around in warehouses and taking inventory autonomously. So that as end customers to us, what matters is our package doesn't get delayed. And it gets delayed because in a 50, 60,000 pallet location warehouse, if anything is lost, a person has to take a barcode scanner and try and search that warehouse for the pair of jeans that they're looking for. But now they don't have to do that anymore. They can just have drones scanning their warehouse proactively and not lose on revenue in this market.
Can you take a deeper, just a step back in terms of the technology that you developed in your studies, but also as you've been there, like what piece, it's an off-the-shelf drone, which was very attractive from an investment thesis. You don't have to build everything. But can you talk about like the computer vision piece of it and the innovation that you've actually built into the product?
Oh yes, absolutely. So I think one of the reasons it appealed to us as well in what we were doing, I think there is almost this Cambrian era of startups coming in robotics space where they don't manufacture hardware. We don't manufacture hardware. But there are commoditized robot-like hardwares like drones that can just be from the use of computer vision, which is what we basically specialize in. We can make them autonomous without investing into hardware solutions. So it's essentially how can we use commercial off-the-shelf cameras on your cell phones or cameras on drones to make them autonomous indoors without any GPS, and then take that data into machine learning engines to actually make sense out of, this is not just a photo, it's these many boxes, or it's an empty location, or it is damaged boxes that need to report, or they're barcodes or label reads. So this is, I think we are just at the beginning of it. We are, I think, one at the forefront, but there are huge Cambrian era of startups coming that is just software play.
And so you had a big announcement this week.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right? And so why don't you share what you announced this week? It's fantastic.
Oh, actually, yeah, and it ties, I wasn't thinking about it, but it ties into this Pittsburgh Yay story, which is actually as we spun out, there was a Bay Area startup that spun out to try to do the same thing.
Where was it located?
Bay Area. And we've always held the belief what we do, like I spent a decade at CMU trying to do what we're doing, and my co-founders did as well, is quite hard. And we just, on Tuesday, publicly announced that we acquired a startup that was out in Bay Area doing the same thing, but now it makes us the world's largest in this domain of using just software to actually make agents autonomous in the world and make them effective data gatherers in warehouses.
Congratulations. So you've really, a new innovation, kind of moving up the stack, being in market with customers. I did read something in the press release talking about the adoption of their customers of your technology, and really now you're combining the technology. It's another example of working together versus working against. So there's a Bay Area company, it has innovation, it has a lot of value, and under the Gather AI platform, you're going to roll that technology into this solution to go even bigger. And I believe that's the idea.
Oh yeah, so now we have collectively, now we've gotten the new Gather AI entity has 25 customers, which is sort of the biggest in the domain. But the most exciting part is now every week our drones are scanning about 60 to 70,000 pallet locations and finding on an average every week about 6,000 to 7,000 pallets that were missing in those warehouses.
And that's a quantifiable productivity that justifies the investment. So as we're wrapping up, can you just look forward 3 or 5 years? Like, where is the company going? And maybe even more importantly, where is the technology going?
So I think for us, Gather AI, the vision stays the same, which is gathering data using AI. I think you'll see us in more and more warehouses. And what we do will just become an accepted part of this is how warehouses run. But in 3 to 5 years, this is not just restricted indoors, because immediately right outside the warehouse, there are yards where trucks get lost. Believe it or not, it's a common occurrence in these big, large facilities that I lost $1 million worth of container. It's been lost for a month. I'm sure I'll find it in 2 months. So going out to yards and providing the same visibility, because right now people go around and drive around in trucks in these massive yards to find them. And then going out to ports to provide through and through visibility across supply chain, especially now when supply chain world is changing so much, not only demand volatility, but also just defocusing from China and building more robust networks. It's just going to increase rapidly. So that's where the business is going.
Yeah, and you're leading that.
Yeah, it's awesome to be. And in terms of technology, a little bit, I think there is a lot of noise about large language models. And large language models are going to change how we interface with our computers, because we can have a dialogue with them. But the limitation of large language models in the physical world is the same that Google had, is that they don't have that data. So I think as you want to converse with your computer more to get business insights, you want your computer to know the real-time data. And that's where sort of more and more companies like ours will come in.
It's a big vision, executing so amazingly. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
To learn more about One America Works, visit our website, oneamericaworks.org.